Number 3, we deal about creation-centered approach model ethics. You know the creation-centered model ethic, approach model ethics, all right? So what is it anyway? This is based on Genesis chapter 9, where God is making a covenant with the 3 individuals. One is Noah and his family, and the animals and creation. They are also equal partners in dialogue. So God is including not only humans, and also He includes animals and other parts of creation. In other words, God's covenant includes the whole of creation. There is no division there. There is no fragmentation there. We are talking about some 4,000 years ago when Bible was written. I always thought Bible was very anthropocentric. It's about only human-centered text we find in the Bible in the first chapters of the whole Bible, because the Bible is told that it is only for Jews, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Moses. So this God is meant to be only for Jews, not for other people. So He was a very sectarian God. That is what I thought. How can a Bible that talks about sectarian God can include other people? Because He is a God of Judaism, Yahweh. Then when I came to chapter 9, I thought I was wrong. I completely misunderstood the Bible. No, He is not a sectarian God. He is not God of Judaism alone. And He goes to the another extreme of including the abiotic and the biotic parts of the natural world. He is the God of creation. There is also another text I want to add. It is not in the PowerPoint. The book of Jonah. I will teach about it later, but that book also you should include here. Today homework for you is Genesis chapter 9. You read it. And the book of Jonah, the whole book. It is called the nano book. I call it a nano book. Only 4 chapters. You can read the nano book in 15 minutes. It's the very smallest book in the Bible, book of Jonah. But it contains one of the deepest insights ever written in the human history. Also, there God proves that He is not a sectarian God. He is not only caring for humans in the city of Nineveh, and God chooses not to destroy it because there were humans and also animals and plants and the parts of creation there. So He did not destroy it. So He is the God of creation. So these 2 Bible texts, we can use it here as the examples for creation-centered approach model ethics. Yesterday we have seen in dominion model ethics, earth is the source of all value. That is what we have learned. In stewardship model ethics, we have learned that human person is the source of all value. But here, creation is the source of all value. In other words, abiotic and biotic parts of the natural world are the source of all value. In other words, everything has value. God found everything that what He had created good. He found it good. Bible repeats again and again, 6 times in the first chapters of Genesis. Whatever created God found it was good. Then who are we to find them bad? Bad snake, evil mosquitoes, dangerous corona virus. Who are we to stamp them bad while God is stamping them good? We don't have such right. Nobody has such right to call some parts of creation obnoxious. No. Creation is beautiful. You didn't create it. God created it. So He has wisdom, knowledge, sovereignty. So He can do only good. That is the faith we should have. Creation-centered approach, model ethics, emphasizes the intrinsic value of nature. Intrinsic value. Whether it is useful to humans or not, it doesn't matter. What matters is humans are ignorant, they don't understand everything. They don't understand about rocks, soil, but still they are good. When you impose your own delusion on something, like a snake is poisonous and dangerous, that is your delusion. That is not true. Parthenian plant is bad. That is your imposition on nature. That shows your ignorance. You don't understand. On the other hand, you should say, I don't know about Parthenian plants, or eucalyptus trees, or Velikatha trees, or acacia trees. I don't know what they are doing. That is the humility humans require. But we are not doing that. We act as if we know everything. We become arrogant and we say that they are evil. Let us destroy them. But on the contrary, 2000 years ago, Jesus Christ shows a very good example how we should treat some parts of nature which we call bad. How should we treat them? That is the parable of the wheat and the weeds. That is what I call it. Actually, it is called parable of the wheat and the tares. Matthew chapter 13, I think. But I call it wheat and the weeds. Jesus is teaching that weeds also important. Don't pull them out. What a great teaching 2000 years ago. Even today we don't understand what role the weeds play in agriculture. But today scientists think that weeds, they trap nitrogen from the atmosphere. They are known as the nitrogen fixers. There is enormous amount of nitrogen in the atmosphere, and plants, most of the plants are unable to take it from the atmosphere directly. That's why we make fertilizers, nitrogen-based fertilizers we feed to the crops. But weeds, they don't need nitrogen-based fertilizers because they can tap nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. In their roots, they contain nitrogen fixation nodules. They are the highest form of technology. Even in your cell phones, you don't have such an advanced technology. It is a cutting edge technology in the plants. You know groundnuts plants, no? When you pull the groundnuts plants, you take the groundnuts out, but still there is an illusion that there are groundnuts is left there. They are not groundnuts. They are nitrogen fixation nodules. It is a God-made chip, cutting edge technology. So the groundnut plant is equipped with the highest technology that can tap nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. So groundnut plants, they don't require fertilizers. And they tap nitrogen and they charge their own plant, leaves, groundnuts. In the process, they also charge the soil. So the same analogy is applied to the weeds. Today, scientists are beginning to understand the benefit of the weeds, what they are doing to agriculture and the soil. But our humans, civilization, they simply feed ignorance in agriculture. They try to pull them out and feed chemical fertilizers. But if you allow weeds, I think the soil will be charged, also our crops will benefit. So that is the teaching from Jesus. Don't destroy weeds, let them grow with the wheat until the last day. Then you can cut them out and then put them in the land, and again they will charge, because weeds are full of nitrogen, which is the best nutrient for the soil. Hey, 2000 years ago, Jesus was a geologist, I told you. He was a geologist, ecologist, biologist, paleontologist, teacher of environmental ethics and teacher of agrarian theology. Creation-centered approach model ethics recognizes interdependence within the web of life. Yes. You can't exist alone. There is no to be, only interbe. To be, it's separation. Interbe is union. The creation is a interbe. It is the interdependence within the web of life. It is known as the web of life. Humans did not jump from the sky as we have been taught. We are image of God. We came directly from God. No, you came from the soil. You are part of the evolution. Your journey started some 3.8 billion years ago when microorganisms like unicellular organisms appeared on the planet. Your journey started in a one-cell organism. I told you the kingdom of Monera which consists of archibacteria and eubacteria. They are unicellular or simple bacteria or primitive bacteria. That is where our journey began. And they became multicellular, maybe protista, more complex. And then fungi, plants, animals. Here we are, human beings. We are the last in the chain of evolution. We are the smallest brother and smallest sister. There are no smaller brothers and sisters appeared after we came. Varavuttadane? We didn't allow. We didn't allow anything to come in evolution after us. We are systematically destroying any traces of future evolution. So we need to understand the web of life doesn't end with humans. Environmental ethics states that it continues. We need to keep this evolution afloat, working condition, so that we can enable other creatures can appear into the future, especially our future generation, humans. I mean, they can't exist. Future generations also can't exist without animals and plants. Without water, soil, air, they can't exist. Even human future generation depends on the interdependency. Nobody can exist without the natural world, without the environment. And also creation-centered approach model ethics admits the sacredness of nature. Nature is sacred. It is the revelation of God. That is what Manika Vasagar writes in Thiruvasagam. Everything is the revelation of God. Mountain, sky, sun, moon. It's a manifestation of God. So nature needs to be protected and should be revered. And all life deserves protection. Not only life, non-life also deserves protection. So creation-centered approach model ethics can support only low economic growth. Because yesterday we have learned that dominion model ethics supported high economic growth because they didn't care about the natural world. They thought only humans exist and they are the superior species. All other creatures are made to serve humans. So in that regard, high economic growth was feasible. It was accepted. And the second, stewardship model ethics supported medium economic growth. It's all right. It is more balanced. I understand that. But here, creation-centered approach model ethics, without any choice, goes only for low economic growth. Sustainable growth, in which ecosystems will not be destroyed, land, water, air. In scientific terms, they are known as lithosphere, the land, hydrosphere, water, atmosphere, air, biosphere, life, and there is one more sphere called noosphere. Noosphere. Loose sphere illa, loose sphere illa. Nous. In Greek, nous means mind, consciousness, the sphere of consciousness. That is what the Jesuit paleontological priest Teilhard de Chardin, you must have heard about him. That is the priest who proposed noosphere in his thesis called Cosmogenesis. So he was talking that lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, biosphere and noosphere, these are all connected. When the first two, land, water, air, life, looks good, then your consciousness, the noosphere also looks good. When lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, biosphere looks bad, your noosphere also looks bad. In other words, your consciousness reflects the condition of the outer natural world. So we are connected. That shows our psyche, our consciousness is connected with the outer world. Our inner world is connected with the outer world is connected with our inner world. There also we find interdependence. So anyway, low economic growth can allow other abiotic and biotic parts of the world to flourish. Here, the approach is more balanced. You take resources from the environment and the environment gives you. You are not pressing the environment. You are not damaging the environment. You are not plundering the environment. You are just receiving from the environment. There is a big difference between taking and receiving. Actually, we have been taking. That is not a good approach. So in creation-centered model approach, we should understand we should receive from the environment. What the land gives you, you receive with gratitude. What forest gives you, receive with gratitude. What agriculture gives you, receive with gratitude. Don't dump chemicals, fertilizers, pesticide. That is not creation-centered approach model ethics. That is not right. That is pressing the nature. Actually, you're putting a noose to the neck of the nature. Come on, give me, otherwise I'll kill you. You are intimidating nature. But what nature gives you, you receive it with gratitude. So that is what I mean when I talk about creation-centered approach model ethics. So this is the fourth model ethics known as deep ecology model ethics. This is a very important subject. You need to be more attentive now. The first three, dominion model, stewardship model, creation-centered approach model, most of the times they are known as shallow ecology. Shallow. Because they talk about pollution, they talk about production, they talk about high economic growth, they talk about recycling, they talk about reducing greenhouse gases, that kind of environmental stuff. That is very shallow. That's very shallow. And also, we value instrumental factors. Nature is useful to me, so I care for it. We give importance to instrumental value than intrinsic value. So that's why we call it shallow ecology. Shallow, very shallow. But now we have come to another level, deep ecology. The word itself gives you the meaning. We go to the deeper realm where creation has intrinsic value. That is one example of deep ecology model ethics. Understanding intrinsic value itself is deep ecology model ethics. And also, in the beginning of the class, I was talking about 3 rights of Mother Earth. Some of you remember that. 3 rights, basic rights. The first right is to exist. The second right is to flourish. The third is to fulfill the role for the common good of the planet. These are the 3 fundamental rights of Mother Nature. So these 3 rights, when you recognize them, you have understood what deep ecology model ethics is all about. The value, admitting the rights of Mother Earth, and also allowing it and looking at it, and you give empathy to it, and you give mercy and compassion to it. It is not taking from the Mother Nature, that is shallow ecology. Taking iron ore, gold, silver, fossil fuel, coal, extracting all minerals, taking trees, that is shallow ecology. But deep ecology model ethics, taking human resources and giving back to nature. What kind of resources humans have anyway? Open your heart and see what resources you have. St. Paul, talking to Colossians chapter 3, he enumerates so many resources found in human consciousness. Love, hope, charity, mercy, forgiveness, compassion, empathy. He enumerates so many beautiful things what we can find inside of every human. At the same time, he is also enumerating the negative traits also found in humans like envy, greed, violence, fornication, etc. and etc. So anyway, we have been giving so far that negative parts to the natural world. Envy, greed, violence, fornication, this kind of stuff we have been giving. Now stop giving that and start giving the goodness of your resources back to Mother Earth. That is deep ecology model ethics. Give some sympathy, kindness, compassion, above all, empathy to the natural world. So that is the real crux of our discussion right now. You know, deep ecology word also can be translated into ecosophy. Today many people call it ecosophy or ecological philosophy. The ecological philosophy short term, abbreviated term is ecosophy. and it comes from deep ecology, same meaning. Or another word, I have just put it in the PowerPoint there. You see, species equivalence model ethics. I mean, all species are equal. That is also deep ecology, same meaning. Deep ecology, ecological philosophy, ecosophy, species equivalence, all of them, they mean the same thing. Actually, deep ecology was coined by one Norwegian environmentalist. His name is Arne Næss. See, I have written there, Arne Næss. He is the proponent of deep ecology model ethics. So we will learn more maybe in the next slide, next 2 or 3 slides. We have got a lot of text to read and understand what Arne Næss is meaning about deep ecology. But here is the shortest definition he gives. According to Arne Næss, deep ecology means every being, whether human, animal, or vegetable, has an equal right to live and blossom. That is a simple definition. Very beautiful definition. Here, not only we recognize the dignity of the natural world, but also we give reverence. We give reverence because we find God's manifestation in creation. That's why we give reverence. We are not adoring snakes. We are not worshipping monkeys. We are worshipping God, one who is present in the monkeys, one who is present in the snakes, one who is present in the rocks. That is called today panentheism. God in all in God. Panentheism means, pantheism means monkey is a god, snake is a god. We don't find God there. We find monkey as a god. We find snake as a god. We find rock as. That is idol worship. That is known as idol worship. But in panentheism, it's little different. We find the manifestation of God in monkey and snake, in stone, in all parts of the world. In other words, God in all in God. So basically, when you fold your hands towards a monkey, you are not giving reverence to a monkey. You are giving reverence to a God, one who is present in the monkey. So, in that case, there is a vast difference from pantheism and panentheism. That's why I told you, not only dignity and also reverence. Each part of the natural world is sacred. Sacred. They are sacraments. Not only 7 sacraments we talk in the church, everything is a sacrament. Stone is a sacrament. Water is a sacrament. Every part of the natural world is a sacrament because God is present. That's what we teach in the sacramentology, because sacraments means God is present. That's why they became sacraments. Sacramento. So now, if God is present in every part of the universe, then it becomes naturally a sacrament. So, it is a radical revisioning of nature. Deep ecology model is all about. It's a radical revisioning. our vision is entirely different. The first three, our vision was very shallow, but in deep ecology, our vision is really deep. We are looking into a big electron microscope. We are peering deep into Milky Way galaxy, deep in the center of galaxy. Yes, that is what revisioning of nature through deep ecology model telescope. Again, deep ecology model ethics revives asceticism, mysticism. One example I want to give you, in the 13th century, that is 800 years ago, Saint Francis of Assisi was a deep ecologist. He is the good example of deep ecology model ethics. He called brother sun, sister moon. See? Brother wolf, sister lamb. During the 13th century, the church's teaching was wolf was demon, devil. Because wolf was responsible for all the plagues in Europe. Pope was teaching, kill all the wolves. Kill them all, because they are devil's personification. Kill them all. But Saint Francis of Assisi goes and takes the wolf, my brother wolf. Thank God Pope did not kill Saint Francis of Assisi. He got away with that. Luckily, fortunately. Pope was telling devil wolf, Francis was telling brother wolf. Look at the contrast. Brother wolf. So, only in the framework of asceticism and mysticism, you can do such things. Pope knew that Francis of Assisi was a mystic. That's why he got away with it. Come back.